Hello, everybody. Welcome to another edition of Game of the Week. We're at the end of the Fall 2 high school sports season, and it's the City Soccer Championships this afternoon. We just had the girls' game where Boston Latin defeated Latin Academy, and now we've got the boys' side where, once again, Latin Academy is in it. The Latin Academy Dragons boys soccer team, I believe, is undefeated coming into this game, and they're facing the defending champs, the Jeremiah Burke Bulldogs, who not only are the defending city champions, but actually just lost in the state tournament finals back in 2019. So they're the defending North champions in the state tournament as well in Division 4. So certainly going to be a great matchup here today, as both these teams actually met earlier in the season. Latin Academy defeated Jeremiah Burke 1-0, so very tight matchup back earlier in the season. Should be another good one here in the city championship today. Latin Academy has not been in the Boston City Championship on the boys soccer side for over a decade. So for them to get this far is certainly an accomplishment in and of itself. And now being undefeated, if they can cap this season off with a city championship, that would really put the cherry on top of their Fall 2 soccer season here in this 2021 pandemic changed season. For Jeremiah Burke, you know, they were the best soccer team in the city back in 2019, and they're one of the better teams here in 2021. We are underway here at Carter Field in Roxbury as Latin Academy received to start the game. Jeremiah Burke actually won the toss and decided to defend the goal on the left side of the field. So Latin Academy in the all-black uniforms with the gold trim. Jeremiah Burke in the white uniforms with the blue trim. And like I mentioned, Jeremiah Burke, the defending city champs. Latin Academy coming in undefeated, hoping to cap off this season with a city championship. Goalkeepers for both these teams. For Latin Academy, it's Sebastian Patino, the sophomore, and for Jeremiah Burke, it's Ruben Goncalves in the net. Casey driving it down the sideline there for Latin Academy. That goes out of bounds. That'll go back to Jeremiah Burke. One of the players to look out for here this afternoon for Latin Academy is Constantinos Papagianni, who has been their top goal scorer throughout this season. See Latin Academy on the attack here as Jeremiah Burke trying to clear it out in the early goings of the first half. Looks like I'm going to trip close to the circle there on Latin Academy, so that'll be a free kick for the Burke Bulldogs. As I mentioned, Jeremiah Burke losing 1-0 to Latin Academy earlier in the season. We'll see if they can avenge that loss from earlier. Another trip that time. That's going to be on Jeremiah Burke, as that was Constantinos Papagianni who got tripped up there right around midfield for Latin Academy. So that'll give the Dragons a free kick. There's Papagianni right there. Also Jason Casey, one of the senior midfielders for Latin Academy, number 6. Two of the top goal scorers for this Dragons team. So this will be a See what Latin Academy tries to come up with here as Papa Johnny will attempt this penalty kick right here after the trip. Papa Johnny with the drive, but Goncalves right there to make the save for Jeremiah Burke. Nice kick there by Goncalves. Here comes Jeremiah Burke with a rush. And that's going to be offsides on the Burke Bulldogs. That one's driven out of bounds. That'll go back to Jeremiah Burke. Just want to say hi to the goalkeepers for Latin Academy's mother. Sebastian Patino's mother back in Colombia is watching us on YouTube. So just want to say hi to Sebastian's mother. Thanks for tuning in here this afternoon. Glad we can bring this game to you during this pandemic Fall 2 season. A lot of folks can't get out to games just because of health and safety protocols. We're getting out of this thing right now, which is great to see. We do have some folks at the game. You know, everybody's masked up, but I'm sure a lot of folks at the game, especially the parents, are vaccinated now, and things are starting to slowly but surely get back to normal. Comes Jeremiah Burke again. And I think we got a trip that time on either a trip or a hold on Latin Academy. So Jeremiah Burke is going to get a penalty kick right here. Coming up on 6 minutes gone by in the first half. Nice drive to the net, but Sebastian Patino right there for the save for Latin Academy. Jeremiah Burke looking for an opening here. Decent opportunity there, but Latin Academy all over it to clear it out there. That'll go out of bounds. Back to Jeremiah Burke here for the free kick. Dragons not allowing anything near the net right now. It seems like Jeremiah Burke so far has been more aggressive on the offensive end than the Dragons. Burke's been one of the better teams in the City League over the past couple of seasons. Jeremiah Burke with a lot of size. You can see a lot of tall, big players out there for the Burke Bulldogs. That's what helped them get to the state championship just back in 2019. Hard to believe that was just last season, but that one driven out of bounds by Patino, so the Bulldogs will get a free kick from there. Burke with another drive towards the net that time, but Patino off the pass is able to clear it out. And there we see it in the middle of the field, Kevin Barbosa, the sophomore, with a collision with Latin Academy. I think that's going to be another penalty on the Dragons. See if Barbosa's okay after colliding with Latin Academy. It looked like his ankle got twisted around there. Barbosa still shaken up. See if he's able to kind of walk that injury off here as the penalty kick for Jeremiah Burke. Nice looking drive, but it's well high of the goal post. And that'll go back to Latin Academy. Papa Johnny now driving it back there for Latin Academy. Papa Johnny dribbling through traffic now to Casey. Casey looking for an opening. Driven out of bounds that time by Jeremiah Burke. That was Eric Van Even who lost it out of bounds there for Latin Academy. Van Even also a very good goal scorer for this Dragons team. Looks like an offsides penalty there on Burke, so that'll go back to Latin Academy. About 10 minutes gone by here in the first half. No score between the Dragons and Burke Bulldogs here in the 2021 Fall 2 season. Boys Boston City Soccer Championship. Papa Johnny trying to get it back over to Van Even, stolen away there by the Burke Bulldogs. Nice slide tackle that time by Papa Johnny, and here comes Casey. Got an injured Bulldog down in the middle of the turf. Van Even looking for an opening near the net, but he's driven away that time by the Bulldogs. And I think we got a trip there on Jeremiah Burke. That might have been Barbosa again taken to the ground. Jeremiah Burke up closer to the top of the penalty box. He was down. It looked like he was holding his ankle. We'll see if he has to come out of the game or not. Must be an injured player right now down on the turf for Jeremiah Burke. So we'll get a free kick here for Latin Academy. It's actually a penalty kick. We'll see what the Dragons can do with it, with this opportunity. I believe that was Van Even with the drive, but well over the net. So no chance there for Latin Academy, as that'll go back to Jeremiah Burke. There's Barbosa getting tripped up again. Excuse me, that's not Barbosa. That time it's Jair Gomes. Right there standing on top of the soccer ball right there is Aldicio Fontes, who's a really good defender for this Burke team. He actually was the MVP of last year's city championship game when Jeremiah Burke was able to defeat East Boston 2-0 in the 2019 Boys Soccer City Championship. That'll go out of bounds again back to Latin Academy. So neither team has had a real good opportunity for a shot on goal so far. Both defenses packing it in tight there near the net. Here comes Casey. That gets drilled out of bounds by Jeremiah Burke, so Latin Academy will get the free kick there. We'll see if the Dragons can try to set something up here. After Casey was able to get it down there for Latin Academy. Papagianni trying to bend it in, but it's well short there as Goncalves is able to scoop it up for the Bulldogs. Nice slide tackle that time by Yahim Perez. And now we have another foul near the top of the penalty box there. Couldn't quite see who that penalty was on for Jeremiah Burke. But it looks like Perez was the one who got taken down by that trip by the Burke Bulldogs. Another penalty kick here for Latin Academy. See what Papagianni can do with this one. Another drive well high of the goal, so still not too many quality opportunities for either team so far. Neither team has been able to do much with any of these penalty kicks. That's driven out of bounds by Latin Academy, so now a good opportunity here for the Burke Bulldogs. It's Jaron Pimentel. Had to chase that one down for the Dragons and just clear it out. Looks like that's going to be another trip as Jared Gomez fell to the turf. Gomez gets the ball deflected. That'll stay with Jeremiah Burke. They'll get a corner kick. 16 minutes gone by here in the first half. No score between Latin Academy and Jeremiah Burke, and the boys fall to City Soccer Championship. Gomez trying to go down the end line there, but ball was knocked out of bounds. That'll go back to Latin Academy. Casey drives it back to the middle of the field, but nobody there for the Dragons. Gooms with a drive well wide of the net that time. Burke actually knocks it out of bounds there, so Latin Academy will get it back here at midfield. They're going to have Casey bring it back closer to midfield there. Just going to knock it in there to Papagianni. Papagianni was looking for Casey there. That'll stay with Latin Academy. Papagianni drives it back to the other sideline. You see all the attention that the Burke Bulldogs are giving to Papagianni. They know how potent an offensive player he is for this Dragons team. Nice tackle that time back on the far side of the field by Perez. Academy still hanging tough, however. Again, taken out of bounds that time by the Bulldogs. Lately, it's been Latin Academy really controlling the possession here midway through the first half, where Jeremiah Burke, I thought, had more of the possession to start the half. The drive to the far side of the field. Gomes then drills it up there for the Bulldogs. And they weren't able to chase it down, so Latin Academy will get it back. Couldn't quite tell what the penalty was there, if we had a shove or whatever have you, but Burke regains possession after the penalty. Now it's Latin Academy again. Dragons got something going here. That's going to go straight out of bounds, though. As the pass was not a great angle there down the sideline. Both teams trying to work the perimeter so far here in the first half. You don't see a lot through the middle of the field. And I believe that's going to be the designated water break here at about the midway point of the first half. No score between Latin Academy and Jeremiah Burke. You see both these teams seem to know each other pretty well, too. You saw Jeremiah Burke with a lot of attention on Konstantinos Papagianni, knowing what kind of goal scorer he is. While Latin Academy really forcing Jeremiah Burke to stay outside the perimeter rather than gaining any opportunities in the middle of the field. Folks, we're bringing this game to you from Carter Field in Roxbury. It's just off of Columbus Ave, just on the other side of the train station over there, as right basically part of Northeastern University's campus. This is actually controlled by Northeastern University. They have worked with the Boston Public School Athletic Department to host these soccer games here this morning and this afternoon. The girls' game, Soccer City Championship, was earlier at 10 o'clock. Boston Latin School defeated Latin Academy. And now we have the Latin Academy boys team hosting Jeremiah Burke. So Latin Academy in both boys and girls city soccer championship games. Latin Academy girls were not able to win in that first game, so we'll see if the boys can take the title home here this afternoon. But they have to go through the defending city champion Jeremiah Burke Bulldogs, who have been tough for several years now. As I mentioned, too, Jeremiah Burke making it all the way to the Division IV state championship last season in 2019 before they lost to Bromfield in the state title game, 1-0. Again, nothing easy there for Jeremiah Burke. That's going to stay with the Bulldogs. Driven up nicely there by Latin Academy, knocked out of bounds by Jeremiah Burke, so the Dragons will get an opportunity here with the free kick. That's Casey now with it, with the drive near the net, but too far out in front of his teammate, and Goncalves was able to corral it for Jeremiah Burke. Another drive down the middle of the field there for Jeremiah Burke, but Sebastian Patino is there to scoop it up for the Dragons. That almost could have been a nice scoring opportunity for the Bulldogs. Casey now driving it back for Latin Academy. Papadinos. Papa Johnny loses it back through the end line, so that'll go back to Jeremiah Burke. Almost had a chance with it. He's their most potent scorer, so if Papa Johnny had any kind of opening and could control the ball, he probably would have tried to take a shot there, but couldn't quite hang on to it. So that'll go back to Jeremiah Burke here midway through the first half of the Fall 2 Boys City Soccer Championship. Looks like we got a hold there on Jeremiah Burke. That one was on Jair Gomes, the sophomore forward. Pimentel now gives it a ride towards the middle of the field. Van Even kicks it way too high of the goalpost, so that'll be back to the Burke Bulldogs. Good stolen away right there by Burke, but right back to Latin Academy. Drive there from Jeremiah Burke, but just over the net that time. Couldn't quite tell who that was. I think it was Kevin Barbosa who gave it a ride, but again, a little too high above the crossbar there for the Burke Bulldogs. Back up to Casey. Can't corral it, however. So Casey now in front. We'll see if Casey can get it. He is able to gain control, but then Burke's there to defend. Casey to the front of the net. Opportunity for Latin Academy. Couldn't quite hang on to it. Casey with a nice pass in front of the net there, but the ball couldn't be corralled by the Dragons. So Jeremiah Burke was able to escape. Well, could have been definitely an opportunity for an easy goal there in front of the net, but it's going to be another hold on Jeremiah Burke. Casey with the free kick now from the red line for Latin Academy. That's Van Even over in the corner there for Latin Academy trying to regain possession, but it's driven out of bounds. Latin Academy hangs on. That's Pimentel. Over to Papa Johnny. He tries to squeeze it past, but it's wide of the net on the right-hand side. So Goncalves will get the free kick for the Burke Bulldogs. Papa Johnny there. They try to knock it away, but stolen right back there from Jeremiah Burke. That was Barbosa taking it away from Van Even. Latin Academy takes it right back. Pimentel keeps it alive for the Dragons, but Burke's there to drive it back through. Out of bounds off of Latin Academy, so the Bulldogs now with a free kick. Burke trying to get quickly up the field as that's driven back through. Here comes Jeremiah Burke, one of their better opportunities so far inside the penalty box, driven out of bounds by Latin Academy.
Nobody, come on, man. Hey, ref! Hey, come on.
I think the referee's called the trip there on Latin Academy, so we'll see if Burke's able to get a penalty kick. Burke couldn't slide that one through, and Latin Academy drives it back out. There's Van Even trying to corral it for Latin Academy, goes out of bounds. Back to Jeremiah Burke. Okay, you see the referees talking to both captains, Van Even for Latin Academy and Adicio Fontes for Jeremiah Burke. There's probably some chirping going on between the players and possibly chirping at the referees. So he's talking to their captains saying, you guys got to clean it up here. They're going to start handing out yellow cards. Nice drive up the field that time for Jeremiah Burke. A drive towards the net, but Patino is there for the save. That was Jonathan Pena with the nice pass, but driven right to Patino in the net. Looks like that was Barboza trying to drive it towards the middle of the penalty box, but Latin Academy's defense again denying Jeremiah Burke. Fontes driving it back through, but out of bounds. That'll go back to Latin Academy. There's usually either a couple injured players or volunteers down on the sidelines throwing in a new ball when the ball goes well out of the playing area. But I'm wondering with the pandemic, they don't want too many people coming in contact with the soccer ball. Nice job defensively by Gomes. It's going to stay with Casey, however. Excuse me, that was Barbosa who knocked it out of bounds for the Burke Bulldogs. Casey now with a free kick for Latin Academy. Papa Johnny up to Casey. Driven out of bounds again, so Latin Academy will get another free kick. You see a lot of folks hanging along the fence line there of the game. Good to see fans out at this Boys City Soccer Championship during the Fall 2 BPS sports season. Another trip that time by Jeremiah Burke. Another penalty kick coming up for Latin Academy. Looked like it was Melvin Hernandez for Latin Academy that got tripped up that time. Excuse me, it wasn't Melvin for Hernandez. That was number 15, Santiago Venegas, just a sophomore, or excuse me, a freshman for Latin Academy. Cheyenne Perez, who I believe with the penalty kick, tries to drive it near the net, but Goncalves almost had a bobble there, but was able to corral it for Jeremiah Burke as Van Evan was driving towards the net. Goncalves with a rocket down the field as Latin Academy is able to push it back, but here back comes the Jeremiah Burke Bulldogs. Papa Johnny up to Pimentel. And then Jeremiah Burke gets tripped up there. So another penalty kick here for the Bulldogs.
Use your clock to both sides, man.
This will be a penalty kick for Jeremiah Burke. See what they can try to do with it here. That's Heleno Moreno. Also Hercules Fernandez over there for the Bulldogs. Looks like it's Fernandez who's going to attempt the penalty kick. Fernandez right towards the net, drilled out of bounds by Pimentel. So it'll be a corner kick now for Jeremiah Burke. We'll see what they try to do here. That's driven out of bounds. That'll go back to Jeremiah Burke. Looks like Fontes is shaken up a little bit on the play, the outstanding defender for the Burke Bulldogs. Driven out of bounds by Latin Academy. That'll stay with Jeremiah Burke. Barbosa looking for an opening. Casey drills it out of bounds there for Latin Academy, so it'll stay with the Burke Bulldogs. That's going to be a trip on Quinn of Latin Academy. So we've got a yellow card there on Quinn, so he's going to have to take a seat. See if Burke can take advantage of this. Burke with the drive right at the net. Patino's there for the save.
zone.
Got a penalty call right around midfield. I think that's going to be on Jeremiah Burke. So Latin Academy will get that back with a free kick right around midfield. Dragons with a drive inside the penalty box there. We'll see if Van Evan can corral it. Van Evan towards the net, but it's wide on the right side, so that'll go back to Jeremiah Burke. Here comes Papa Johnny, but it's drilled back down the other end for Jeremiah Burke. It'll stay with Latin Academy, but oh, that was off of the Dragons, so that'll go back to Jeremiah Burke. Casey going to work on that far end of the field. Got tripped up. Excuse me, that wasn't Casey on that side. That was actually Danny Ramirez down near the sideline. So that'll go back to Latin Academy here late in the first half. Bulldogs with a drive up the field, but that's going to be offsides on Jeremiah Burke. Bulldogs trying to work the ball back down the field, but it's Latin Academy there on the denial. Here come the Dragons now with a lead pass up the field. Dragons now with an opportunity coming out of the net. Shot is well wide and high of the goal. Good effort there on the attack by the Latin Academy Dragons, but Goncalves came out of the net and forced the shot. And I believe we might be at the half here at Carter Field. And I believe we are. So it's halftime here at Carter Field. No score between Latin Academy and Jeremiah Burke. And both teams really kind of seesawing when it came to time of possession and also quality chances at the net. I thought Latin Academy probably had a few more quality chances than the Jeremiah Burke Bulldogs, but you know, good half from both teams. Their defense was so far been excellent. We'll see, you know, how they try to attack certain sides of the field and certain areas of the field in the second half. It seems like both teams are trying to funnel their opposition out to the edges rather than to the middle of the field. Latin Academy had a couple opportunities, especially at the end of the half right there, but just weren't able to get too many quality shots on the net to have anything close to a chance at a goal. Jeremiah Burke had a couple opportunities as well, but Latin Academy's defense, especially when Burke gets deep, really seems to kind of clamp down there on that end of the field. So it should be a very fun second half in this one. We'll see if we can get you some halftime stats, some possession time numbers, and a few more stats for you after we head to break. When we come back, we'll try to do those halftime stats for you as we get set for the second half of the boys 2021 Fall 2 Soccer City Championship here from Carter Field in Roxbury. We're going to head to break. We'll see you in a minute.
When I never graduated from high school, I realized I wanted to go back to school because I didn't want to work these back-breaking jobs the rest of my life. With the help of my father and having my son, That was all the motivation that I needed to come back to school. I felt accomplished, made me feel that I could take on whatever challenges life throws at you.
Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org.
Honey, what I think you need is a socket wrench.
I played JV basketball.
I'm sorry, I don't think it looks right.
This is good, and it's all good, baby.
Is it really all good?
If you love me enough to routinely test your handyman skills, not to mention the strength of your marriage, then of course you'll visit nhtsa.gov/therightseat to make sure I'm in the right car seat.
I'm gonna call my dad.
1 in 3 adults has pre-diabetes. That means it could be you, your favorite brother, your other brother, you, your football buddy, your football buddy, you, your plumber,
Breathe right into your foot.
your plumber's masseuse,
Yes.
you, your dog walker, your cat jogger. With early diagnosis, pre-diabetes can be reversed. Take the risk test at doihaveprediabetes.org.
When I was 10, my mom got deported. We had a difficult time, and I feel that's why I didn't get to finish school. My husband is really supportive in a way that he pushed me to go back to school.
She wants to have a career so her kids can look up to her.
They both keep me motivated to go to school, and they see that if I do it, like, they can do it too, you know? I feel that everything's possible.
Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org.
Each year, there are more than a dozen significant tropical and winter storms that threaten the East Coast. So chances are there will be more hurricanes and blizzards near here again. And between school, sports, and social lives, chances are you won't be with your kids when it happens. Will they know what to do? Ready.gov/kids has all the educational tools and information to make the conversation easy. When the time comes, chances are they'll feel prepared, not scared. So talk with your family today.
All right, Monroe, you ready? Monroe. Here we go, the butterfly. Ready? Ooh.
I am what hunger looks like in America. I am an 8-year-old girl who's not excited for the last day of school. Because this may be the last time I'll have lunch.
Till September.
I am a single father of 2 who works 3 part-time jobs, and that's still not enough to put food on the table. I was created by artificial intelligence from faces of the 1 in 8 Americans who struggle with hunger.
Feeding America, 200 food banks strong.
Imagine being fired because of who you love. Imagine being denied medical treatment because of who you marry. Imagine being evicted because of who you are. Millions of Americans don't have to imagine this. They have to live it. Because in 30 states, it's legal to discriminate against LGBT people.
Jordan knows he shouldn't eat this entire bowl of nachos, but tonight he's earned that right. Because a few hours ago, in the middle of happy hour, he recognized a sign. Not from the gods or a bolt of lightning, but from a double heart, a kissy face, and a 4th ha in ha ha ha. That's when Jordan knew he was buzzed. So when it was time to go, he got a ride home instead of driving. Be a legend like Jordan. Recognize your buzzed warning signs and get a ride home. Buzz driving is drunk driving.
Welcome back back in Boston City TV studios. We're at the half here at the 2021 Fall 2 Boys Soccer City Championship. And right now it's still 0-0 between Latin Academy and the defending champion Jeremiah Burke Bulldogs. We've got some halftime stats for you here before we get going in the second half. Jeremiah Burke just edging out Latin Academy in time of possession, 52% for the Bulldogs, 48% for Latin Academy. Shots total, it's 8 for Burke, 6 for Latin Academy. Shots on goal, 4 for Jeremiah Burke and 2 for Latin Academy. 4 saves for the Latin Academy Dragons, as Patino has done a nice job in the net, the sophomore goalkeeper for Jeremiah Burke. So certainly we'll see how these guys can do here in the second half. I do not have my microphone on. That always helps in television when you wear your microphone, so I'm just going to do that right now. Make sure I put that on. That'll be good. I'm sure you folks can hear me a lot better now that I have a microphone on. We're going to start that over. I'm going to go back to the halftime stats here for both these teams, as our statistician Desmond Lefebvre has been doing a great job for us all season long. Again, Jeremiah Burke, 52% on the possession. Latin Academy, 48% on their possession. 8 shots for Jeremiah Burke, 6 shots for Latin Academy, 4 shots on goal for the Burke Bulldogs, 2 shots on goal for the Latin Academy Dragons, 2 saves for Jeremiah Burke. That's Ruben Goncalves, the netminder for the Burke Bulldogs, and for Sebastian Patino, the starting goalie for Latin Academy. He has 4 saves of his own, 2 corner kicks for Jeremiah Burke, 1 corner kick for Latin Academy, 7 fouls on the Burke Bulldogs and 5 fouls on Latin Academy. Both teams now with a yellow card. You saw Jason Verrera for Jeremiah Burke get a yellow card there in the first half. Quinn Kelly, the senior forward for Latin Academy, getting a yellow card for the Dragons. So, both teams doing a nice job defensively. We see that Burke has a slight edge in possession time. Not a huge difference there, but still Burke, especially sort of early and even midway through the first half, really controlled possession for most of the half there for Jeremiah Burke. Latin Academy, I thought, had a few more opportunities with shots on goal, except that Burke actually had a few more shots on goal in the first half. It looked like Latin Academy offense was sort of doing a little more of what they wanted to do, where Jeremiah Burke was just kind of taking shots in different spots of the field and not really necessarily cohesive there in the first half. Neither team has really been cohesive so far in this game. But also we look at the 2 guys with the yellow cards, so you got to be careful there with those 2 players. But again, defensively, we know Jeremiah Burke's defense has always been good. We've talked about Adelcio Fontes, the senior defender, who's been a really good player for this Burke team for a long time. He was the MVP of last year's city championship game when Jeremiah Burke defeated East Boston 2-0. We're just about ready to start the second half here at Ryan Field for the Boys Soccer City Championship in the Boston Public Schools here in this Fall 2 soccer season. Looks like that'll go back to Latin Academy. Latin Academy not necessarily used to not scoring a ton this season. Earlier in the year in March against New Mission, they won 6-1. Defeated Snowden back on March 20th, 13-0. And Latin Academy defeated East Boston back on April 17th, 4-2. And they actually defeated Boston Latin School a few weeks ago, 1-0. So, Latin Academy normally used to scoring several goals. We mentioned Papa Johnny with a lot of goals this year. Jason Casey has a few goals. Van Evan with a few goals as well. So here you see Van Evan over near the sideline. So Latin Academy not used to these types of contests so far this season. Meanwhile, for Jeremiah Burke, they had a 3-0 win against Madison Park, a 1-0 loss to O'Brien. They defeated Boston International 6-1, 1-0 loss to Latin Academy back on April 10th, like I talked about, and they also defeated East Boston 2-1 earlier in the season as well. So they've played in a few more of these closely contested games or matches so far this season. Nice slide tackle that time by Barbosa. Barbosa going to work now as it's taken away that time for Latin Academy. That was Papa Johnny with the tackle for the Dragons. Fontes with the drive down the field. And almost a chance there for Jeremiah Burke, but it's Patino that's able to corral it for the Dragons. Quinn almost with a chance. He's able to hang on to the possession of the ball, but then he's tackled there by Jeremiah Burke. Here comes Gomez back down the other end for the Bulldogs, and he's tripped up right near the sideline. So Burke will get a penalty kick right here. See what kind of opportunity they get here early in the second half. Drive towards the net, and Patino's right there for it. Van Evan trying to keep it alive there for Latin Academy. It's driven out of bounds by Jeremiah Burke, but that's going to stay with the Dragons. So Dragons now deep in Burke territory. Oh, that was given back to Burke. Excuse me. I thought it was knocked out of bounds by the Bulldogs. Here's an opportunity for Papa Johnny. He gets tripped up inside the penalty box. So Papa Johnny, I believe, is going to get a penalty kick. So Papa Johnny, the top scorer here for Latin Academy, is going to get a penalty kick. Or penalty shot, rather. Goncalves is really going to have to try to come up with a spectacular save here. This is the top scorer for Latin Academy, Papa Johnny, going against the Goncalves. Papa Johnny is able to drive it home there for Latin Academy, and the Dragons are on the board first. Papa Johnny with the celebration slide. If anybody was going to put one home for the Dragons, your money was probably best. Bet was on for your money probably was going to be Constantinos Papa Johnny, who drills home the penalty shot there for Latin Academy. Now the Latin Academy Dragons lead 1-0 here early in the second half. See how the Burke Bulldogs respond. In their only matchup of the regular season, this was the final score. So both these teams played very well defensively in that first matchup. But now Latin Academy with the 1-0 lead. Slide tackle driven out of bounds that time. by Latin Academy's Danny Ramirez. Get it into Gomes. Gomes is then tripped up. And that's a yellow card for Latin Academy, as Danny Ramirez is going to have to head to the bench. So we'll see if the Burke Bulldogs can take advantage of this free kick here. That looks like it's Barbosa, excuse me, Jair Gomes now with the free kick for the Bulldogs. Or rather, penalty kick, excuse me, for the Bulldogs. Gomes with the high drive, sails out of bounds. Here, back comes Latin Academy. It's Casey. Down to Van Evan. Van Evan couldn't corral it. Excuse me, that was Papa Johnny streaking down the sideline. Couldn't corral that one. Gotta go back to the Bulldogs. Now it's Latin Academy. Here comes Gomes. Looking for an opening. And once again, Patino's right there to make the save for the Dragons. Quinn's able to corral it there for Latin Academy at midfield. Papa Johnny now back. Slides it over to Perez. Latin Academy now works it back, and we believe we got a penalty on Jeremiah Burke, as there is a player down right now for Latin Academy. I think that might have been Perez over near the sideline. Quinn trying to corral it for Latin Academy, but it goes out of bounds back to Jeremiah Burke. Fontes now with the free kick for the Burke Bulldogs. Drive that time, Gomez, but it's knocked out of bounds. That's going to be a corner kick for the Burke Bulldogs. Corner kick tapped in that time by Jeremiah Burke. Good job clearing it there for Latin Academy. Another corner kick here for the Bulldogs. Latin Academy again trying to clear it out. That'll be another free kick for Jeremiah Burke. 1-0 lead here for Latin Academy in the boys soccer Boston City Championship. Tough to see what transpired there, but there's going to be a penalty kick now for Jeremiah Burke. Drive in front of the net. And was there a hand penalty there on Latin Academy? Couldn't quite tell. So I think it's now Jeremiah Burke who's going to get a penalty kick opportunity. Jason Verrera, who got a yellow card earlier in the first half. I'm sorry, it's not going to be him. It's going to be Jair Gomes with the penalty kick opportunity. We'll see if Patino can make the save. Gomes buries it in the left corner to tie the game up at 1 apiece. So a penalty kick for each team has made it a 1-1 tie here midway through the first half. You had Papa Johnny with the penalty shot to give Latin Academy the 1-0 lead. Then Gomes with the penalty shot ties it up at 1 apiece. Casey tries to keep it in there for Latin Academy. That's going to be offsides on the Bulldogs. Penalty on Latin Academy. Burke with another trip, or got tripped up. I think that was inside the penalty box. He's very close to the edge of the penalty box. We'll see if they award a penalty. All right, they are going to award another penalty shot for Jeremiah Burke. As that was another penalty inside the penalty box. We get a yellow card on Latin Academy. That one's going to be on Pimentel, I believe. Yeah, Jaron Pimentel, the senior defenseman, who's had a defender who's had a really nice game. He's now going to have to take a seat for Latin Academy. Gomes again with the attempt here on the penalty kick. See if Patino can make the save. Gomes buries it at the top of the goal, sneaks it just under the crossbar, and Jeremiah Burke now with a 1-goal lead over Latin Academy. Gomes went high and snuck it just underneath the crossbar on that penalty kick. So Gomes now with 2 conversions on those penalty kicks to make it a 2-1 lead. Jeremiah Burke on top, defending champs here in the Boston City League. So Latin Academy now with some work to do, now down by a goal. Pimentel had to take a seat off of that yellow card, one of the better defenders for Latin Academy. We'll see what kind of toll that takes on the Dragons. Driven out of bounds nicely that time by Danny Ramirez. It's going to be a foul on Latin Academy. That was Perez that time. Fontes now with the free kick for the Bulldogs. Big time drive close to the net, but it's Patino who has to corral it there for Latin Academy. There's Barbosa with a full head of steam here for the Bulldogs, looking to make some way. Excellent defensive job there by Danny Ramirez, who then gets a little extracurricular activity in there with Jeremiah Burke. We'll see what happens here with the referees decide. There might be some players pulled out of this one. We might even have a red card. Yep, we got a red card there on Jeremiah Burke. So they're going to lose a player. I couldn't see who's coming out of the game. I think it's Barbosa who's going to have to go take a seat. Might have been Fernandez, number 4, who had to head to the bench. Tough to see from our vantage point. Fontes trying to drive it out of there for Jeremiah Burke. Here comes Papa Johnny near the net, tries to drive it over. But Latin Academy unable to get a shot off there as the defender for Burke was able to clear it out. Really the first time in this half that Latin Academy's had a sustained possession. Van Even towards the net, but Papa Johnny couldn't get a clean shot off. Driven back out now by the Burke Bulldogs. Like that was a trip that time on Latin Academy. Looks like we might have that designated water break here. No, we got an injured player down for Jeremiah Burke. That's Fontes down on the turf. He might have a separated shoulder. Fontes, a very tough player, tough defender. If he's injured, you know it's a tough injury. With the way our setup is, we unfortunately don't have replays, so we can't go back and see exactly what happened to Fontes. It looks like he might have had a shoulder injury. Yeah, he's pointing to his shoulder. He's already got one of those sort of, not a brace, but one of those straps on his shoulder to help blood flow, but I'm wondering if he's had a separated shoulder this season already. Fontes, very tough player, as I mentioned. Also got a bandaged up left hand as well, so Fontes dealing with some injuries in this season. See if he's able to hang in. I think he separated his shoulder. That'll be a big loss for Jeremiah Burke if Fontes has to come out. One of the best players on this Burke team. Looks like he's okay. I don't know if it was necessarily a separated shoulder, but I think his shoulder did get banged up. You see all the bandages and wraps on his left arm there. I'm sure he's had previous injuries this season. So I think this is the designated water break here midway through the second half. Lots of scoring so far in the first part of the second half here as both teams convert on opportunities on penalty kicks. So Latin Academy started things off first. Papa Johnny had a penalty kick where he's able to convert. They got up 1-0, and then it was Jeremiah Burke with 2 opportunities for penalty kicks. Both times it was Jair Gomes but was able to convert the penalty kicks into goals. So Jeremiah Burke now with a 2-1 lead over Latin Academy here midway through the second half of the boys Boston City Championship. So we'll see how the rest of this transpires. We had a red card on Jeremiah Burke. We also had their top defender, Adelcio Fontes, who had to just go take a seat. He had some kind of injury. Like I mentioned, his left arm and possibly left shoulder was already banged up, and now he might have to sit even longer with that injury. We'll see what happens here. Had a decent amount of injuries so far in this game. So we're going to have some additional time at the end. So far in this half, Jeremiah Burke's really dominated possession as they've controlled about 66% of the time. But as we've seen, just a penalty here, one play there can get you an opportunity to tie this game up. So we'll see what Latin Academy can do with it. Coming out of that water break. Going to be Latin Academy with possession of the ball. Perez getting it knocked away there. Gomes with a nice lead pass up the field. We'll see if Burke can get an opportunity, but the shot is well wide of the net that time. See Fontes back in there, driving the ball out of bounds, still hampered by that shoulder injury. That is going to be sore tomorrow. Latin Academy with a free kick. Looks like there's about 18 minutes left in the half. And as I mentioned, we've had a few injuries, so there'll be some extra time added, most definitely, at the end of this half. Fontes drives it down the field there for Jeremiah Burke. See if Latin Academy can try to tie it up here. The Bulldogs not allowing much in the middle there for the Latin Academy Dragons. Here comes Gomes now back down the other end. Gomes with the 2 penalty goals already, and good slide tackle that time from Latin Academy. Patino trying to corral that ball. Got tripped up a little bit there, but it's going to be a free kick now for Latin Academy. This will be a free kick for the Dragons. Again, down by 1 goal here. Almost 3/4 of the way through the second half. That's driven back there by the Burke Bulldogs. Just nothing open there for Latin Academy. Burke's defense really clamping down here now with the 1-goal lead. You see Quinn trying to work things for the Dragons. Gomes now with it for Jeremiah Burke. Gomes going up the end line there. Gomes with a drive, but it's well wide. His angle got cut off that time by the Latin Academy defender. That's going to go out of bounds back to the Dragons. That's going to be a trip that time on Jeremiah Burke as Papa Johnny was trying to bring it towards the top of the half circle there. Now we have a Burke Bulldog down with an injury. Looks like he's going to be okay. That was Jason Verrera, the senior midfielder for Jeremiah Burke. 13.5 minutes left to go here in the second half of the Boys Soccer City Championship here during the Fall 2 BPS High School sports season. Drive towards the net, but Goncalves is right there to gobble it up for Jeremiah Burke. Not sure what to call it. I think it went out of bounds, so I think Latin Academy is going to get a corner kick now. So Papa Johnny now with the corner kick for Latin Academy. We'll see what they try to set up. Couldn't quite see exactly what happened there, but Goncalves is there to gobble it up for Jeremiah Burke. Gomes now bringing it back down the other end for Jeremiah Burke. 1-on-4, Gomes trying to create some space. Gomes gets a loose ball. Gomes towards the net. Finds it once again. Jair Gomes. I'm sorry, that's not Gomes. Can't quite see who it was. Might have been Barbosa coming up with the goal. We'll find out. It was not Barbosa either. We'll find out who scored that goal that time. Looked like that might have been number 11 for Jeremiah Burke. Jonathan Pena. I'm sorry, that was number 7, Jason Verrera with the goal. So Verrera, the senior midfielder for Jeremiah Burke with the goal for the Bulldogs. As Latin Academy back down the other end trying to attack the net. That was Van Evan. Looking for the goal. He sailed well high of the goalpost that time. Van Evans really hasn't had quite as many opportunities as I would think he would want. He's one of the top goal scorers for Latin Academy as well. Now a very steep hill to climb for the Latin Academy Dragons. Down by 2 goals here with just over 10 minutes left to go in the second half. And Calva's there to jump on that one. Just under 10:30 left to go here in the second half of the Boys Boston City Championship. Jeremiah Burke now with a 2-goal lead over the Latin Academy Dragons. Latin Academy trying to chase it down. It's knocked out of bounds by Fontes, so that'll go back to Latin Academy. Dragons now with the corner kick. We'll see what they can do with it here. Ball is drilled out of bounds. It's going to go back to Jeremiah Burke off the corner kick there from Latin Academy. Dragons drive it deep and down the right corner. Burke trying to dig it out of there, but Latin Academy stays with it. Latin Academy with a drive towards the net, and Calva is able to deflect that one for Jeremiah Burke. That's going to be another trip on the Burke Bulldogs. So that'll be a free kick for Latin Academy. That was Danny Ramirez who got tripped up. So penalty kick here for Latin Academy outside the penalty box, obviously. Papa Johnny. See what Papa Johnny tries here. Tries to bend it in, and Goncalves right there on it. It looked like there was a dragon streaking towards the net there, but they couldn't connect, so gotta go back to the Burke Bulldogs. Good drive there from the Burke Bulldogs as Latin Academy was unable to take it away. We'll see what Jeremiah Burke's approach is now with a 2-goal lead. Will they attack or will they try to just control possession for the rest of this one? Papa Johnny able to chase that one down, then it's driven out of bounds. Quinn with the header inside the penalty box there. That go back to Jeremiah Burke. Now we have some extracurricular activities again between a couple of these players. These guys have been going at it all game. You've got Gomez, and also you've got, I believe that's Ramirez for Latin Academy. Sorry, that's Barbosa for Jeremiah Burke. Trying to figure out exactly what has happened. Ramirez is still out there for Latin Academy. So the referees break it up. Jeremiah Burke gets the free kick. If you're head coach Joao Barros of Jeremiah Burke, you just want to make sure that there aren't any more penalties to allow Latin Academy back into this one. You got a 2-goal lead with probably about 8 minutes left. And then whatever extra time they add on, you don't want to make things any easier for Latin Academy here late in the game. So apparently there was a yellow card for Heleno Moreno, the junior from Jeremiah Burke. That's driven out of bounds by the Bulldogs. And Latin Academy now with an opportunity. Ramirez towards the net. He's looking for Quinn. Still alive here for Latin Academy. Goncalves with the save, and Burke drives it out of there. Jeremiah Burke with a nice defensive stand after Latin Academy had a couple of nice opportunities. Getting late in this game, certainly desperation time for Latin Academy. They have a 2-goal deficit they have to make up. Here comes Gomez back down the other end for Jeremiah Burke, but nice tackle that time by Latin Academy's Pimentel. A 3-1 lead for Jeremiah Burke. Latin Academy got to make up a 2-goal deficit, but the Burke Bulldogs defense has been very stingy here late in the second half. Only goal given up by Jeremiah Burke has been a penalty kick by Constantinos Papagianni for Latin Academy. Other than that, Jeremiah Burke's defense has really stifled this Latin Academy Dragons team. These two Burke players collided right in front of the goal. Jeremiah Burke trying to hang on to this 2-goal lead here late in the boys soccer Boston City Championship. We're at the 2-minute stoppage time, so now we have penalty minutes and injury time added on to the end of this game, so not a ton of time left. Nice drive that time by Latin Academy with an opportunity, but the ball sails high over the goal. So barring any crazy miracle here at the end of this game, it looks like the Jeremiah Burke Bulldogs are going to win back-to-back city championships. Last time the Bulldogs, Jeremiah Burke's actually been in 4 out of the last 5. Make that 5 out of the last 6 city championships. They've won just one back in the most recent one in 2019. And again, it's most likely going to be back-to-back city championships here for the Jeremiah Burke Bulldogs. We'll see if Latin Academy can pull something out here late in the match. Corner kick from Latin Academy sails wide. Fontes drives it deep there for Jeremiah Burke, and that's going to do it. The Jeremiah Burke Bulldogs hang on to win 3-1 over Latin Academy, and they are your 2021 Fall 2 Boston Public High School Boys Soccer City Champions for the second year in a row. Back-to-back titles for the Jeremiah Burke Bulldogs. Really nice game here this afternoon at Carter Field, as it was 0-0 in the first half. And then Latin Academy actually got the scoring going as Constantinos Papagianni was awarded a penalty kick, and he put it home for the Dragons to get the first goal of the game. Latin Academy up 1-0. And then the Bulldogs came right back. 2 more penalty kicks for Jeremiah Burke. Jair Gomes buried both of them to give Jeremiah Burke the 2-1 lead about midway through the first half. And then a few minutes later, for Jeremiah Burke, Jason Vieira, the senior midfielder for Jeremiah Burke, was able to convert a goal as well to make it 3-1, and then the Burke Bulldogs were able to hang on and win the 2021 Boys Boston City Championship. So Jeremiah Burke, back-to-back city titles in Boston City League Boys Soccer. So great to see, as we've been saying all season long and over the past few months, great to see this athletic department for the Boston Public Schools fit these seasons in despite the pandemic, and Certainly no shame in that game from Latin Academy. Great job by the Dragons, who I believe came into this game undefeated. They actually beat Jeremiah Burke earlier in the regular season 1-0. So close matchup that time, close matchup this time, but Jeremiah Burke with the 3-1 win in the boys' Boston City Championship. We're waiting to see if there's a trophy presentation for the Burke Bulldogs. But again, even though this is a fall 2 season, they moved the fall season now to the spring, and it's a very different type of season here for the soccer teams. Certainly doesn't water down this city championship. I mean, a well-earned victory here today for the Jeremiah Burke Bulldogs. Excellent season for both teams. Jeremiah Burke with the win makes it back-to-back city titles. So no state tournament this year for the soccer teams. We mentioned Jeremiah Burke made it all the way to the state championship back in 2019 before losing to Bromfield 1-0. But Jeremiah Burke this time winning back-to-back city championships. They actually beat Boston Latin School back in the city semifinals just a couple of days ago to get to the city championship. Meanwhile, Latin Academy had to beat O'Brien 3-0 in a normally a rivalry for those two exam schools, Latin Academy and O'Brien. So that was a big game back on Thursday where Latin Academy was able to defeat O'Brien 3-0, and then Jeremiah Burke defeated BLS on Thursday. See if we can get the trophy shot here at some point. Usually Avery Esdale, the athletic director for the Boston Public Schools, hands it over to the seniors or to the coach. Well, unfortunately, it looks like we're not going to get a trophy shot here today. Can't quite see if that's happening. Well, if they do have a trophy shot, it's going to take a little while, so I think that's going to do it for our coverage here as Jeremiah Burke takes down Latin Academy 3-0 in the boys soccer Boston City Championship. They're at Carter Field in Roxbury. Fantastic performance from both teams. Really good seasons for both teams as well here in this Fall 2 season here in 2021. As I mentioned, normally they would play this fall season in the fall in 2020, but they had to move it because of the pandemic, but still a fantastic season for both teams. Jeremiah Burke is able to take down Latin Academy 3-1. We got some final stats from this game for you before we sign off. Jeremiah Burke, 53% possession for that game over Latin Academy's 47. It was actually leaning even more in Burke's favor for most of that second half. Latin Academy controlled a lot. Once they were down by 2, Burke wasn't trying to attack as much, so Latin Academy had more of a possession to kind of lean it more closer to the middle, but it was mostly Burke in that second half with the possession. 14 shots for Jeremiah Burke total, 11 total shots for Latin Academy, 8 shots on goal for the Burke Bulldogs, 6 shots on goal for Latin Academy. 5 saves for Jeremiah Burke, 5 saves for Latin Academy. The two goalkeepers actually had some nice games because 3 of the 4 goals were actually penalty shots. So it's really tough to stop those especially you're a younger goalkeeper. Those guys did a nice job. Corner kicks for each team, 4 apiece. 12 fouls on Jeremiah Burke, 10 for Latin Academy. 5 yellow cards awarded to Jeremiah Burke, 4 for Latin Academy, 1 red card for Jeremiah Burke. But the Burke Bulldogs take down Latin Academy 3-1 in the boys' Boston City Championship. So congratulations to Jeremiah Burke. Back-to-back city champions in the boys' Boston City League soccer. So, folks, thank you so much for joining us here today for these 2 city soccer championships. Remember, if you want to follow us on social media, first thing you can do, if I can speak English, is go to our Facebook page. Go to facebook.com/GameOfTheWeekBoston. We got a lot of good stuff up on that site, including links to all the games we've covered, updates on which games we're going to be covering in the future, pictures, a lot of great stuff up there. Make sure you check that out. You can visit our website, www.boston.gov/cable, if you want to watch previous games from previous years, football, basketball. We've got some BNBL games up there, so make sure you check that out. You can go to that website, scroll to the bottom of the screen, and click on Game of the Week. Finally, if you want to follow us on on Twitter, you can go to @BostonCityTV, and if you want to tweet at us, use the hashtag BostonGOW. We put a lot of updates on that Twitter handle as well, so make sure you check that out and you follow us on Twitter. It's been a blast covering the Fall 2 Boston City League athletics, mostly football. We got these 2 soccer games in today as well. Again, hats off to the athletic department, Avery Esdale, Billy Sittig, all the athletic coordinators, a lot of other site managers here in the City League that had to shuffle things around. You got to think this is a completely different schedule that we've never really seen before in high school athletics, but all those folks did a lot of hard work to make this happen. Hats off to the coaches. Hats off to the players, the students, the principals, because everybody had to make it work and make it adjust, so they did a fantastic job. I also want to give a hats off to our crew here at Boston City TV. Carlisle Payne was our cameraman here today. He also did the football game yesterday that we covered. And Ethan Vara, Desmond Lefebvre, and Mia Brigenti today. Also, Kurji Germain has done a fantastic job for us throughout the season. Of course, always good support from our station manager, Dave Burt, and our station director, Mike Lynch, and the general manager of BNN, Glenn Williams, and also Bradley Lewis, who wears many different hats at BNN, has helped us out a lot as well, and our engineer, Dennis Dutra, has done a lot of help for us for a lot of these broadcasts. So we really appreciate everybody's help throughout this time. Thank you again for joining us here on Game of the Week. Folks, we hope next time you'll see us, we'll have our truck back and things will be somewhat back to normal. But for right now, we're going to say so long from the Boston City TV studios. We'll see you next time on Game of the Week. Take care, everybody.